Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast. Today we will be talking about
Animal Farm.
I am Cece and this is
Romy. First topic.
We will be talking about Snowball versus Napoleon. I, over here, believe that Snowball was the righteous leader of all. He is the sun to the planets. He keeps everything together and intact, helping us live.
I believe in Napoleon. He's our anchor, keeping everything stable and upright. He's there for us, and he's been there for us for the whole time.
Has he though?
Yeah, give me an example.
Let's talk about when he sent Boxer to the horse slaughter. Boxer was an amazing horse. He helped, and he was always believing that Napoleon was right. One day he was hurt. He was supposed to be going to the hospital, but Napoleon brought him to the horse slaughter.
Napoleon's always right, Cece.
No, he's not. He's horrible.
You know, we can't help that the farm's like the weather, going through ups and downs every minute.
But power is just so corrupt in Animal Farm. Just like World War II.
We can't do anything about that, though.
Yes, we can.
Boxer, that's what he wanted.
He wanted to die?
No, he wanted what was best for the farm. Next topic. How is power displayed throughout the novella? I'll go first. Okay, so at the beginning, Major died, right? And he really didn't assign a leader. But Napoleon stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
And he stepped up and he took that place. And the farm is doing great. It has crops, as a strong organization of pigs that keep the farm going together, and nothing's going wrong. So, like, in the book, in this farm, they have this power, ongoing power, but in the end, Snowball really never was the powerful one, because he wasn't the one that took over for a bunch of years before he came back. He never actually came back. So, without Napoleon, the farm wouldn't have a strong, powerful leader.
I think power is corrupt in this situation. I think the pigs took their chance right away. They didn't allow there's like a debate or anything. They just like, oh, pigs are better. Pigs are leaders. And Napoleon drove Snowball out of the way because Napoleon became so powerful because he brainwashed all of these people. Okay? Clover, for example, she did not like this. She thought it was weird. The commandment started to change when Snowball left. And Napoleon was brainwashing all of these people, making them do things that they didn't want to do. They killed off many animals who didn't deserve it.
Yes.
Would you? No.
No.
Okay, if you lied to me right now, do you think you deserve to die?
No.
Exactly. Power was corrupt in this situation.
Okay, I do agree with that, but if we never had Napoleon, who would take over? You say the pigs just took over right away. Who would have taken over?
Clover.
Yes, but he doesn't have a strong backup like the dogs or the other pigs. Next topic. How Mr. Jones really affected the animals and how different the novella could be if there wasn't an unfit person as a farmer. So, if Mr. Jones wasn't the leader, maybe the animals wouldn't want to defeat humans.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they had a good leader who fed them, maybe there wouldn't be anything. Like, maybe they wouldn't want the leader to be kicked out. But Mr. Jones, like, was drunk all the time. He never fed them. So maybe this whole problem of Animal Farm wouldn't even happen if Mr. Jones was a good leader.
I agree with that, actually. I think that if there was like a better farmer who had their stuff together, who was making money and not going broke, that they fed their animals and didn't starve them, didn't get drunk all the time and go haywire on the animals, I think the animals would be fine. I think the animals would understand that not all people are bad, not all people are enemies. People can be kind too. It's just there's some people that aren't kind, just like Napoleon, and Napoleon was bad, and so is Mr. Jones, and we just need to make sure that we're finding the right leader in this situation.
I agree with part of that. Snowball tore down the windmill and affected with the animals.
How do you know that?
Because they said that.
Napoleon said that. Squealer said that.
Napoleon's always right.
No, he's not. How do you know?
Because he led us to victory. He was right about that. So, like, and another thing I have to say about the farm is if they had a good leader, they don't really know what humans are like besides Mr. Jones, right? So if they really discovered that some humans can be kind, like you said, maybe that they wouldn't think all humans are bad, you know?
I agree.
Like 4 legs good, 2 legs bad, like.
Yes, I agree. The next topic. How does the government and Animal Farm relate to the governments in our own time? Okay, so this is kind of a controversial topic, but I would say, like, with the government, not necessarily in America because we are a democracy, but with the government and Animal Farm, Napoleon was kind of chosen right away. He wasn't like the son of Old Major, and there wasn't an election or anything. Napoleon was kind of just like stood up there and was like, I'm better than all you guys, and then he brainwashed them. I would say that's very similar to North Korea.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un was technically the son of the father before him, but it is a dictatorship because there was never an election, and the people before him just kind of became leaders. They don't treat their citizens right, and they like starve them and don't like allow them to be human, kind of, and they like brainwash them thinking that he's good, and that's just what Napoleon did. He was like, oh yes, I'm smart, I'm better than everyone else, and so all the other animals thought Napoleon's always right.
And they can't do anything about that either. Like,
Exactly.
it's a dictatorship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like in Animal Farm too, like they couldn't not make Napoleon the leader.
And the only way, like very similar to North Korea, the only way to seek help and the only way to think other things is from the people outside of them, because they can see what's going around them, like on the news. So like, for example, when people are trying to help North Koreans get out, usually they get stuck in there and die, just like in Animal Farm when they were getting shot, like the humans trying to save them. So yeah, I think it does relate to governments and other societies in the world.
Okay, so the next topic is, if you could change one thing about our society, what would you change? In my opinion, I think that if we had to change one thing in our society, it's like not judging people based on like who they are or what they do. Like in Animal Farm, if you weren't a pig, then you wouldn't be treated as well as any other animal. Like, I think that is so unfair in so many ways, and I think that compares to a lot about like our world and how we live, because if you're not a certain person or if you don't do certain things, like you can't have the privileges to do special things. And I think that in Animal Farm, as the pigs like got the house and they got the food and they got just like to like not do any work or anything, like that kind of relates to slavery, because in the countries not here but away from us, like slavery is there, and like it, and back then of course too, like how just because if you weren't something, like if you weren't a different color or anything like that, like you didn't get special privileges, just like if you weren't a pig you wouldn't get special privileges. It's just like the whole like if you're not someone you don't get things kind of way.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think society in its own way is kind of corrupt. Like, I think it depends where you're coming from, but I would say like a lot with what you were saying, like equality and stuff like that. I think that does play a big role, and I think so many people are fighting for that in our society right now. They're trying to like make everything equal, but like, for example, for Harrison Bergeron, that story is about when people took it too far and they were like, oh yes, everything needs to be equal, to the point where it really wasn't equal and there was just like a dictator ruling over everyone. You can't like be exactly equal. You can't have the same thing as every single other person because everyone's unique. But you have to be able to like not be judged by your race, by your gender, by who you are. You shouldn't be judged, but you shouldn't like change yourself for other people as well. So I think that is something that we're currently struggling with, and I think it's something they're struggling with in Animal Farm as well, because the animals, they didn't have any chance really. They were forced to go under someone who was in charge of them, which technically isn't fair to them, if that makes any sense. And that's kind of what we're going through now. It's getting better as we're progressing into the future, but Yeah.
I feel like in like our society and an Animal Farm, we all want the same thing. Like we all want peace, and they all wanted to be like not have a human leader. And like a group of people all want the same thing, but there are obstacles that get in the way. Like they wanted to be free, but then there had to be someone to be the leader and someone to corrupt whatever like peace they had going on, and it just turned into having like a human leader all over again. And like now, like we want peace, but there's always going to be something in the way of that.
Yeah.
So
I definitely agree with that. So our final topic, how does Animal Farm impact you? I would say Animal Farm really shows like how strong power can take people and how you can't just give in to things like that, and you can't just agree with everyone. You have to be able to have your own opinions and thoughts. You have to be able to rebel against someone that you think is, even if you think is in charge, if there's one thing that you don't agree with, bring it up to them. And like power is corrupt, and I think the fact that people can change.
and if they're a good leader, they'll accept what you have to say and use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I took a lot from power and how that can affect people, and how to hopefully in our future as Americans to not let our leaders have power affect them.
Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day. Animal Farm was a great book. Thank you, Mr. Parlato, for having us read it. Have a great day, guys.
Woo!